Hello everyone, my name is Toby, I make Victoria 3 videos on YouTube, and today, I'm collaborating with Paradoxinteractive to bring you the final feature highlight for Victoria 3's Sphere of Influence expansion. In this video, we'll be diving into the Victorian-era fight for Central Asia, known as the Great Game. During the Victorian era, Great Britain and the Russian Empire were locked in a brutal rivalry vying for influence and control over countries in Central Asia. Both powers had a vested interest in the region and wanted nothing more than to stop the other's advances. This event would go on to be known as the Great Game, and in Victoria 3's Sphere of Influence expansion, you'll be able to directly participate. To get started participating in the Great Game, you'll begin by selecting the new Great Game objective from the starting menu. Though note, you will be able to participate in the Great Game in Sandbox as well. Each of these 6 nations will have a plethora of new journal entries focused on the Great Game. The specific journal entries you receive will be different depending on which nation you choose. Great Britain, Russia, and Persia will each have their own unique set of journal entries focused on their unique situations. Herat, Kabul, and Kandahar will have a shared set of journal entries focused on the unification of Afghanistan. No matter which of these countries you pick though, upon loading into the game, you'll be greeted with the Great Game journal entry. This entry will track the current progress of the Great Game between Great Britain and Russia. The Great Game will conclude once all states in Central Asia are under the control of either Russia or Great Britain, with the winner walking away with a huge prestige buff and the loser being completely humiliated. This is not the only way to conclude the Great Game though, as if the native populations can manage to kick the great powers out of Central Asia, both Great Britain and Russia will walk away humiliated. Great Britain and the Russian Empire are both looking to win the Great Game by expanding their domains in Central Asia. These two nations will share many of the same direct objectives in the form of journal entries during the Great Game. However, they will also have unique journal entries as well. Russia begins with a direct border with Central Asia and could easily begin expanding. However, they still have yet to deal with the Caucasus region. Russia would like nothing more than to annex Circassia and the Caucasian Imamate. However, a current 20-year peace treaty with these nations stands in their way. Through the help of the Journal tab, they'll be able to bypass this treaty and win a victory in the Great Game by annexing those states. This may be difficult though, as Great Britain has its own journal entry focused on keeping these states free from Russia's grip. Whichever of these powers can manage to achieve their desired outcome in this area will be awarded a victory and a sizable shift towards their side in the Great Game. These two great powers will also have shared objectives in subjugating both Persia and Afghanistan, with the winner scoring even more victories in the Great Game. As inconvenient as it is for Russia and Britain, the native peoples of Central Asia have their own plans for what should happen to the region, and it doesn't include being conquered. Persia is the former dominant power of the area and would like nothing more than to keep it that way so they can do their own expansions. Unfortunately for Persia though, their ambitions far outweigh their physical strength at the game's start, as they have no chance of beating a great power in a head-to-head fight. The same can be said for the Pashtun and Tajik nations of Herat, Kandahar, and Kabul, who have all each been dealt a rather precarious situation to navigate. With strong, power-hungry nations encroaching on them from all sides, these three will need to take the initiative to conquer each other and unite Afghanistan before outside powers can do so. Knowing the great powers would like nothing more than to subjugate them, these 4 nations all have to play a delicate balancing game of playing it friendly with the great powers who will offer to help them in exchange for leverage over them. Taking too much assistance could result in the forced recruitment into an empire not of your own design. Play this balancing game just right though, and you'll find yourself in full control of the Great Game. Alright, you're now ready to make your mark on the Great Game. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for future Victoria 3 updates. I hope you all enjoy Victoria 3's Sphere of Influence, and as always, I wish you all a great rest of your day. Goodbye.